Alright, Home Alone 2 takes place a year after the first Home Alone and stars Macaulay Culkin and Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci again as Kevin, Marv, and Harry. And the story is very simple and the same concept. He gets left behind, not left behind, he gets left behind in the airport for a moment, split second, while the parents are running to the gate to catch their flight to Florida. In the process of changing batteries inside of his walkie-talkie, which I always wanted when I was a kid but never got, um, another guy in the airport who's wearing the exact same jacket and haircut as his father runs to the opposite end of the runway. Of the airport, and he sees that person instead of his father. So he gets on the wrong airplane, of course, and they both fly to the opposite ends of the East Coast. The family goes to Florida. He goes to New York City, and in New York City, he accidentally runs into both, Harry and Marv again, as well as a couple of hotel employees played by Tim Curry and, Rob Schneider. And the fun begins again. Home Alone 2 is again a good Christmas movie. Not the greatest one, and I'll explain why. It would have been great. One thing in the writing process brought the whole thing down for me. And I'm about to explain what that is. When I was a kid, and I used to watch Home Alone 1 and 2, Kevin was 8 years old in Home Alone 1, right? Home Alone 2, he's 10 years old. So I was like, okay. When I finally became old enough to figure out what was going on, I kind of figured, well, maybe his birthday was after Christmas and he turned 9 years old. And then turned 10, thus when Home Alone 2 comes around. But Home Alone 2 is set 1 year after the first movie. There would have been no other time for him to even reach 10 years old. He would have still been 9 by the time Home Alone 2 took place. So my question, what the fuck happened in the writing process? Why isn't he 9 years old instead of 10 years old? How do you skip age 9 altogether in 1 year? The film came out in 92, but the film is set a year after the first one, so it would have been 91 instead of 92. You see what I'm saying? Something happened in that writing process that skipped an entire age. What happened? If anybody knows this out there, let me know, because I don't fucking know. It kind of pisses me off now that one of my favorite movies of all time has that one flaw in that film, and yes, it does bring the grade down. So anyway, back to the movie. So instead of robbing houses and apartments, they're going to be robbing the toy store. Duncan's toy store, of course, which is the same store Kevin went to earlier the afternoon to pick up a toy and donated, $20 to Duncan that he talked to and he later found out was Duncan. Of course, Duncan has a big ass safe full of money getting ready to donate it to the children's hospital. Why would you have that big ass case of money sitting out in the open in New York City, okay, where you have crazy people that will rob your ass at the split second just like that? Come on, man, be smarter than that, Duncan. And so when they eventually run into Kevin, they try, of course, to get revenge on him, as well as stupidly tells him the plot that they're going to do in New York City. Why would you tell a 10-year-old boy your plot, knowing that he'll possibly get away from you after you tell him that shit? What sense does that make? But then again, that's hair that's Mara for you. Oh boy. So yeah, he gets away, of course, and then later on confronts them again, sets up the traps, and of course traps them again. Stupidly enough, they buy it again, but he almost gets away from them. He gets away from them long enough to have a conversation with this chick with birds all over her. Well, she's not a chick, she's like old and birdie and stuff. Anyway, and they have this conversation, and they get to know each other. He was scared of her at first, then after he gets to know her, he's like, well, you're not so bad. That would have been awesome. I will tell you that. That would have been awesome to see what would happen if they made a Home Alone 3. I'm going to get to that part in a second. But also, after he gets in trouble again, she comes and saves him. And Harry and Marv are arrested and sent back to prison after they just escaped from it. So Home Alone 2 gets an A-. because of that one writing aspect from age difference. I don't know why they did that like that. That pisses me off. Home Alone 3 should have been 1,000 times better, and it was written by John Hughes. What happened between Home Alone 1 and 2 to Home Alone 3? Why didn't y'all want to? Why couldn't y'all get Macaulay Culkin to do Home Alone 3? Y'all should have ended the series with Home Alone 3 if you knew you was gonna do a 3. And here's my thought on Home Alone 3. Since Harry and Marv went to jail again in New York City, and Kevin made a friend of that lady in New York City, why not have him go back? Let me see, 1997, 1992. He was 10, 93, 4, 5, 6, 7. He would have been 15 years old in 1997. Why not have him go back to New York City alone? Have his parents in New York City alone, since the events in the first two movies can actually coincide well. He took care of himself those 2 times. Why not in this third movie just send him by himself? He's not really home alone, but since the film series is called Home Alone, they have no choice but to name it that, right? Have him go there and have him visit that lady. Have him continue their relationship that happened in the second movie. Have it explain how they've been keeping contact since Home Alone 2. At the same time, have Harry and Marv break out of prison one last time. Okay? Wrap the movie up completely. But no, we get the piece of crap that was Home Alone 3. I won't review Home Alone 3 because it's not a Christmas movie. So I'll get to that when I get to that. That's going to be like the stupid movie of the week or something. But, yeah, that's Home Alone 2. Thank you guys for watching. And, I will do Christmas Vacation when I eventually go back to my place. So, yeah, see y'all later.